recipe was brought to Canada by Scottish explorers and traders. The Indigenous people adopted the recipe over the 18th century. As Indigenous peoples were removed from their land and their natural sources of food, the Canadian government supplied them with rations of flour, lard, sugar, and eggs. Bannock became a necessity to prevent starvation on reserves. It was eventually adopted by the Métis people of Western Canada. The Scottish cook the bread on a griddle, called the bannock stone, which they placed on the floor in front of a fire. The Indigenous people cooked hearthside and would prepare a long biscuit that could be wrapped around a stick. They used corn, flour, or plants rather than wheat flour like the Scottish trappers and traders. Since then, regional variants have come about in Native American communities all across North America. One regional recipe variant is Beltane bannock. It is said that eating one in the morning guarantees abundance for crops and livestock. This bannock bread is made with animal fat and is set in embers on top of a stone to cook in a lit fire. Once it has become deep brown on both sides, it can be eaten with eggs and milk. It is a simple recipe, quick to make, and useful for traveling while in wilderness or mountains. It is a good source of carbohydrates, which was much needed for explorers, trappers, and prospectors. Pemmican is a healthy, preservable food created by Native American Indians. The term pemmican is derived from pimi, a Cree Chippewa word meaning fat. Pemmican consists of cooked, dried, and shredded meat or fish, which is combined with melted fat. Some pemmican also includes dried berries or honey. It was tightly packed into a bag made of buffalo skin and used as a convenient and easy type of long-lasting survival food. The ability to preserve available foods meant life or death for the Native Americans. Curing meat and fish meant saving or preserving meat, using drying, salting, and smoking processes. I will be showing the smoking process of meat in this video. The most traditional ingredient used in making pemmican was buffalo meat. The buffalo hide was removed from the carcass and set in a bowl-shaped hole created in the ground. They lined the hole with buffalo skin, poured water, and pieces of meat were then added into the water. Hot stones were heated in a nearby fire and dropped into the buffalo cooker, which caused the meat to boil. Doing this caused the meat to dry out, and they could use it in pemmican. A number of indigenous tribes cooked meat by boiling it in this way. There has been some argument over which Native American tribe created pemmican, but it was most likely the Plains Indians of the far north in the current United States, Minnesota, North Dakota, and Montana area, and some of the southern provinces of current-day Canada. This food was used by Indians and trappers as both a travel and survival food. It became a key advantage of the Northwest Company in their competition with the Hudson's Bay Company for dominance over the fur trade. It was an important commodity and even caused a 7-year feud from 1814 to 1821 between the Northwest Company and the Hudson's Bay Company. It was known as the Pemmican War. When traditionally cooking pemmican, Native Americans would take lean meat in thin strips and put it out in the sun to dry. Once it was dried, they would grind it up with a mortar and pestle and then add the suet and put it into a buffalo hide bag, mix it all in there until it was fully encapsulated. Finally, the Native Americans would waterproof the buffalo bag by dripping tallow along the edges. This was a great survival food that could stay preserved for long periods of time at warm temperatures.